Happy birthday. Happy 75th birthday, Dale.
Happy 75th birthday, Dale.
Boy, oh boy. The devil's been trying to take you down since 19 years old, and here you are. You've made it to your 75th birthday. Uh, that's amazing. Dale, you spent so much time with the Lord that whenever you talk, I have to do a double take because I think I'm talking to Jesus. He rubs off on you. I am so glad that we got to. How many years has it been? But it's so good. I'm so glad that we got to be friends with you guys. It was nice. It was nice to have you guys come to North Bonneville and visit us a couple months ago. Hope all is well with you guys.
Well, Dale, I think you're a pretty special person. I wasn't sure about meeting you at first. I mean, Paula was so fantastic, but what a treat to get to meet you at the Cedar Creek Bed and Breakfast in Athol, Idaho. And just getting together and having a wonderful conversation there. And then just interacting. I remember the first time you hugged me, I'm like, oh my gosh, that hug has so much love in it and tenderness, and it's so heartfelt. This is just a genuine, wonderful person. You're just a special person. I know we met you through the ministry and stuff. It's fantastic. We love your books, and sometimes at night we read your book about heaven and just feel closer to the Lord. It's comforting, but it reflects you, and we love our friendship. There's just not even words to describe how special you are to us and the blessing you've been in our lives and the truth that you speak to us and the information that you share. We pray to the Lord for truth, and here you come. And it's fantastic. I don't even have words to say how much we love you and how important you are to us and your friendship. It's just a delight. We love you so much.
For
Happy
sure.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dale. It's hard to believe that you're 75 years old. And we've gone a long way because I met you in 1957, but you're older than me now. Your mom led my family to the Lord in 1957. We were only 7 years old, and you were a goofball in Sunday school. I remember you very well because you were the one that was the clown of the class. We have lots of memories, don't we, Dale? And a lot of church activities. Even you and Claude used to play football together. And then 2011, we reconnected after all these years. And 2017, we got to go on a cruise together on our 45th wedding anniversary. You and Paula got married 3 months after us. So what an amazing memory that I have of going on a cruise with you and Paula. What a blessing. And we had so many Thanksgivings together, and even you driving from Hemet to Orange County to celebrate Claude's 70th birthday as a surprise meant so much. Well, I am just so thrilled to be able to wish you many more birthdays, Dale. You promised that you were going to live to be 90 or more. And here your mom was 95 and died 3 weeks before my husband. Well, I am just so grateful for all the memories that we've had together, and I'm thankful for our friendship. And I'm just thankful because of Jesus that we have been connected. And I wish you many more birthdays and many more days to follow the Lord and all the books that you're going to be writing. You know that you're loved. Yes, as a sister in the Lord, I love you, my brother, and I love your family too. So thank you for being so much help in my life. You have no idea. You've taught me so many things. So I love you, brother, and I'm thankful for you, and have many more birthdays. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dale. I can't believe you're 75 or going to be 75. Me being 73, like what happened these last 50, over 50 years there and stuff. But all I know is it was God's providence for me to meet your dad. You know, God is provident in, of course, the major events, but also in individual events. And I believe that to a T because I was a full-time flight instructor at Brackett Airport. And then the GI Bill had just been canceled for pilot training. And so I was basically going to get laid off, but had a friend of ours that Dale remembers too, Dan Wilson, at a flying club down at Long Beach. They wanted me down there. So I go down to Long Beach and then I met your dad. So I'm looking at my logbook now. And I met your dad. It was and I think just might have been your mom too, but I can't remember because your mom used to ride along a lot in the back seat to be our safety pilot. Because your dad, we were working on his instrument rating, and he had a hood on. So, and LA's busy, but we met on October 11th of 1972. And then I didn't know this airplane, but he was friends with the owner of the airplane that was a flight engineer pilot at American Airlines at the time. And so first time meeting your dad with his personality. So he hit it off right away. So, the other thing is that first lesson went really well because I struggled to be an instrument pilot. Me, I got my private, my commercial. I didn't know if I was going to be an instrument pilot or not. But your dad didn't struggle with anything because he was just the Lord had really blessed him, and it was God's gift to your dad because he just flew through that instrument course that we had at Long Beach, and I could this day I could remember leaving Long Beach or so. Maybe we were going to be shooting an approach over at Fullerton or Orange County. Your mom's sitting in the back seat trying to spot other airplanes, and your dad's got the hood on. So that's how it all started, was that. And he accelerated through the course so fast, it was only about a month and a half because your dad was working. He was working for your company, your family company, and so he's busy. But anyhow, we got all the way through. He passed his check ride, flying colors. And then he was going to start working on his CFI, but then God's providence worked again. So, and I'd flunked the physical at American Airlines, and that with my glasses situation I needed. And so my aviation, I called my aviation godfather, got me on in a ground role at American. And long story short, became a dispatcher. But so your dad and I stayed in touch. Because then again, we hooked up again together in 1976. I'll keep it short. We hooked up at Golden West Airlines. I got on in 1976. I believe your dad got on maybe before the end of the year, or he got on in 1977. But then we hooked up again. So lots of fun. So it's like we didn't know how our careers were going to go. But all I can do to conclude this is just your dad has been such an influence in my life, especially your dad and mom, prayer partners, praying. So you kids, our kids, and it's been amazing to see how God has worked in the ministry with you guys, and it's really exciting to see that because that's what it's all about. So, but I don't want to go too much longer, other than how I ran into your dad again years later when I worked for you guys, worked for American Eagle. I went to work for an airline that somebody wanted me to go with, and I knew it was God's providence to do that. And then things were kind of rocky with the business then. And so I was FedEx, and I always liked to go to a Christian bookstore wherever I was laying over, or a bookstore, and hang out in the Christian section. So I never knew about your dad's accident until reading the book, to Flight to Heaven. And so I going through the bookstore there, one of the major ones there and stuff. And I said, Dale Black, Flight to Heaven. It's like, okay, I got to read this. So there's only one copy. So I was there for the day in Indianapolis. I read the whole book. I thought, this book needs to go back on the shelf. And then I got in touch with your dad and mom after many years. And so, but just can't believe how the time has gone. But the thing is, we're closer each day to being eternally together. And that's going to just be awesome. And so even though your dad is 75, I bet he lives to be at least 95.
110. That's my
By the way,
guess.
110, 120. Yeah, that'd be the
Happy birthday, Dale, and young 75. I'm close to being an 85. I know we've been 10 years apart forever. So just thinking about memories, we've known each other for over 50 years. Started when I was employed at Long Beach Redwood, part of your family business that was owned by your dad and Grandpa Price and the uncles, and Joyce, your mom was a Price, so that's how I got started. And my first I after your miraculous recovery from your aircraft crash, you actually became my boss for several years. Also during that time frame, if I recall, you were my student pilot instructor for several hours before I realized that flying as a hobby was too expensive. So, so I did not continue that. But then let's see. So that covers where we met, and then subsequently, due to a Bob, I actually moved to Florence, Kentucky, 10 miles south of Cincinnati. And a few years ago, you were holding a breakfast meeting at a church up in northern Ohio, which my youngest son and I were able to attend and hear you speak. And afterwards, we went to lunch together and had a very good time reminiscing about all those early years. So that's probably the most recent time we've contacted. Other than, interestingly enough, I was in my daughter and I were in Florida visiting my sister-in-law. We were going to go on a cruise, which initially you and Paula had been invited to for a conference, but that fell through. But I decided that would go ahead and go on the cruise. And while we were visiting with my sister-in-law, you actually called me while I was there, and he just said, "You just said I was thinking about you." Well, so I think that's the last time we've actually had uh, contact. So.
Dale, I'm happy to wish you a 75th birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day with your family. And wow, you know, I fondly think back of growing up with you and your parents and your brothers as neighbors. You were 12 years older than I am, about. And 11 years older. And again, I think back with fond memories all the time, everywhere from when my dad on the 4th of July had the cannon out in the front, and he told your dad that he was going to blow up the house. And naturally, all it was just a bunch of wadding in the end of the cannon, to going over to your house all the time after your accident, actually, and the painting that was in the I think it was in the den in the back, of you and of Jesus, and he was your co-pilot. And of all the stories that you had with my father, who was also a pilot, many, many great fond memories. So anyway, I want to wish you the happiest birthday. Hopefully one of these days I'll get to see you again soon. And happy birthday.